Andariki Namaskaram. Welcome to another inspiring episode of 𝗧𝗦𝗊 𝗧 and Women Who Lead, presented by TSAT in collaboration with Agastya Foundation and 𝗬𝗧 Foundation. Our vision through this series is simple yet powerful. We are bringing you conversations which are not only meaningful but also those profiles, those individuals and women who are leading society and creating impact in social segment, in leadership, through innovation, compassion, and purpose. Today, our special guest is none other than someone who started her career at the age when you think about retiring. She is an actor, an inspiring art leader. She is a thorough philanthropist, a great personality, and a beautiful human being. Please join me in welcoming none other than Geetha Bhascker garu. Welcome, ma'am, to the show.
Namaste.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste
Thank
all.
you so much for accepting the invitation and coming on the show. That really means a lot for us.
Okay. Thank you so much for that elaborate introduction of mine. I don't know if I'm worth it.
Ma'am, before I start anything, I would just like to ask for you and all the audience. You started your career at an age when everybody wants to retire or they think of retiring. You started entrepreneurship, if I'm not wrong, at 58 or in 60s. So what really gave you the courage and the strength to jump into entrepreneurship when people think about resting?
Like I never wanted to do a job initially. I always wanted to do something on my own. Maybe I was coming from business families kabatti 𝗹𝗶 kani. But I wanted to do something on my own. And then of course family, I've said that several times, family designed it so that I become a teacher, and I became a teacher. I was working for advertisings also.
Okay.
Because basically I am an applied artist. Okay. So then after that, in the school I felt that art wasn't being dealt the way it can be explored. అంటే యాపిల్ని యాపిల్ లాగానే డ్రా చేయాలి, కలర్ చేయాలి అని అంటే ఐ నెవర్ వాంటెడ్ దట్ అనమాట. ఏదో కొంచెం డిఫరెంట్గా చేయాలి పిల్లలకు. యూ షుడ్ గివ్ దెమ్, దట్ ఈస్ ది ఓన్లీ సబ్జెక్ట్ దట్ గివ్స్ యూ అన్ ఇండివిజువాలిటీ. లేకపోతే మొత్తం అంతా ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు అందరూ ఒకటే ఆన్సర్ రాయాలి కదా. సో ఇది ఫీల్డ్ స్పోర్ట్స్ అయినా కానీ, పాట అయినా, డాన్స్ అయినా, యూ హ్యావ్ టు గో బై ద ఇన్స్ట్రక్టర్. ఆర్ట్ ఒకటి యూ కెన్ సిట్టింగ్ ఇన్ అ ప్లేస్, ఇన్ అ రూమ్. How many ever students you have, each one will be giving a different perspective to their presentation. So నాకు అది కాకుండా వాళ్ళని అక్కడ కూడా ఒక బుక్ ఇచ్చేయడమో లే బోర్డులో డ్రా చేసి చెప్పడమో అనేది I didn't want that to happen. I wanted them to have full freedom to express something.
Wow.
అన్నట్టు నాకు ఉండే అనమాట. ఫర్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ when I was teaching, ఒక అబ్బాయి చిన్న పేపర్స్ తోటి బుక్స్ చేసి తీసుకొని వచ్చేదన్నమాట. కానీ మ్యామ్ సీ దిస్ అనేసి యానిమేషన్ లాగా చేసేది. సో దట్ బాయ్ వాజ్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ ఇన్ దట్. ఆయన్ని ఆపలేను నేను, నువ్వు ఇదే చేయాలి అదే చేయాలి. సో హీ వుడ్ కమ్ ఎవ్రీడే ప్రిపేర్డ్ ఫర్ సంథింగ్ అనమాట. అట్లా దేర్ వర్ చిల్డ్రన్ one or two who will come directly ఆ పెయింట్ బ్రష్ తీసుకొని పెన్సిల్, అంటే టీచర్స్ ఎట్లా చెప్తారంటే పెన్సిల్ వేసి తర్వాత పర్ఫెక్ట్ అయిపోయినాకనే కలర్ చేయాలి అన్నది కాదు. హీ వుడ్ కమ్, జస్ట్ టేక్ ద బ్రష్ అండ్ జస్ట్ పెయింట్ ఇట్ అనమాట. సో Jackson Pollock used to throw paint and he was just to create. He used to throw paint and create so many beautiful expressions అనమాట. వెనకట ఆర్టిస్టులు అందరూ ఏదో ఒకటి చెప్పాలి, we have to, they wanted to express something. ఇప్పుడు స్పానిష్ వార్ గురించి పికాసో చెప్పాలని అనుకున్నాడు, గుర్నికా చేసినాడు. సో లైక్ దాట్ సో మెనీ ఆఫ్ దెమ్. ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ లియోనార్డో డా విన్సీ ఆల్రెడీ ఇప్పుడు ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ అంటున్నారు, ఆయన ఎప్పుడో ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేసేసింది మ్యాథ్స్ అండ్ సైన్స్ విత్ ఆర్ట్. సో వీ డిడ్ంట్ ఫాలో ఆల్ దట్. ఎట్లా అయిపోయిందంటే బుక్స్, రూల్డ్ బుక్స్ తోటి ఒక కలర్ బుక్ ఇస్తే అది ఒక కొసరు ఇచ్చినట్టు, ఒక ఇన్సెంటివ్ ఇచ్చినట్టు అనమాట. సో ఇట్ బికేమ్ కమర్షియల్ అది. And that way we are only harming a child's thinking abilities anesi. I was always thinking like that. So I thought, okay, maybe that doing something on my own, starting something annadi crept into me. I started doing it, but nobody was listening then. Tarvata 58 lo naku cinema chance vachinanga people welcomed me and I was able to go ahead with my entrepreneurship.
Wow, that's really inspiring. Because the way you are talking about art is not scripted. the way you're talking about giving freedom to the kids and the expression of thought and clarity is amazingly beautiful. Not many people would think of art in such a way, but of course, coming from the art side, I'm sure that you would be able to say more about this than somebody who's not into the field. But really, really inspiring, ma'am. So, మీరు చాలా మంది పిల్లలతో పనిచేస్తారు. You have been into this for 4 decades, almost 4 decades, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Right? So, అప్పట్లో 80s, 90s కిడ్స్కి ఇప్పుడు మీరు పనిచేసే పిల్లలతో వాట్ డూ యూ థింక్ ఇస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్? అప్పట్లో పిల్లలు ఆర్ట్ లేదా మామూలుగా ఎడ్యుకేషన్ గురించి అయినా ఎట్లా ఆలోచించేవారు? నౌ ఈ జనరేషన్ గురించి మనం మాట్లాడుతుంటే వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్, మేజర్ డిఫరెన్స్ దట్ యూ థింక్ అండ్ యూ సీ అండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్డ్ ఇన్ ద కిడ్స్?
అంటే అప్పట్లో ఇప్పట్లో అనేసి అంటే కాలం మారుతుంది కదా. See, we were ruled by kings before and people were listening. Subjects had to listen. వాళ్ళు వినకపోతే పనిష్మెంట్స్ వచ్చేది చేసేది. దెన్ స్లోలీ దెన్ వి గాట్ ఇండిపెండెన్స్ అవి ఇవి. నా ఇప్పుడు వచ్చి గవర్నమెంట్ లేదన్నా అంటే కూడా ధర్నాలు చేస్తున్నారు. పీపుల్ వాంట్ ఫ్రీడమ్ అండ్ పీపుల్ వాంట్ టు థింక్ ఇండివిజువల్లీ. దే హ్యావ్ ఆల్ ద రైట్స్ కదా. అట్లనే పిల్లలు కూడా పిల్లలు అప్పట్లో వచ్చి దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఐ బ్రింగ్ ద కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ ట్రయాంగిల్స్ ఇన్ ఆర్ట్ విత్ ఆర్ట్. ఎట్లా అంటే ఈక్విలాటరల్ ట్రయాంగిల్ అంటే అందరం చెప్పినట్టు వినాలి, ఈక్వల్గా ఉండాలి ఫ్యామిలీలో అనేది ఉండేది. సో నాకు నేనంట పిల్లలు ఇప్పుడు స్కేలిన్ ట్రయాంగిల్ లాగా ఉండాలి అనమాట. దే హ్యావ్ టు థింక్ దే ఆర్ ఇట్స్ వన్ లైఫ్ అండ్ ఇట్స్ పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ లాంగ్. ఐ వోంట్ కాల్ ఇట్ షార్ట్. అండ్ మనకు వాళ్ళకు ఏదో చేయాలి, ఏదో సాధించాలి అని ఉంటుంది. పేరెంట్స్కి ఏందనంటే రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ అని అనుకుంటున్నారు. దే ఆర్ ఓన్లీ రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ ఇన్ giving them support, but they cannot command or get what they feel like. వాళ్ళకి ఏది ఉందో అది వేసి పిల్లల మీద రుద్దడం అన్నది చాలా తప్పు అనమాట. దే ఆర్ ఇండివిజువల్స్, గాడ్ హెస్ గివెన్ దెమ్. దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ సే పేరెంట్ అన్నది. పేరెంట్, యు ఆర్ కాల్డ్ పేరెంట్ ప్రాపర్లీ. గాడ్ హెస్ గివెన్ యూ సంథింగ్, సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ దట్ చైల్డ్, గైడ్ దట్ చైల్డ్. క్యారెక్టర్ వైజ్ అవన్నీ చెప్పొచ్చు, కానీ నువ్వు ఇదే చేయాలి అదే చేయాలని అంటే మాత్రం దే వాంట్ లిసన్. ఇప్పుడు పిల్లలు మనం అనాల్సింది లేదు స్కేలిన్ ట్రయాంగిల్ అని. వాళ్ళే వెళ్ళిపోతారు, ఇంట్లో నుంచి వెళ్ళిపోతామని అంటున్నారు. సో బికాజ్ దే ఆర్ ఎక్స్పోజ్ టు సో మెనీ థింగ్స్. అప్పట్లో మనకు టెక్నాలజీ అంత ఇది లేదు, చెప్పిన మాట వినేది, ఇంట్లో ఉండేది, ఎక్కువ ఇంట్లో ఉండేది. ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కువ బయట ఉంటున్నారు. దే హ్యావ్ సో మచ్ ఆఫ్ స్కోప్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పోజర్ టు మెనీ థింగ్స్ అనమాట. సో వాళ్ళని మనం ఒక్క తీరు గైడ్ చేయాలి, కానీ వాళ్ళని మనం ఫోర్స్ చేయలేము. ఫోర్స్ చేస్తే ఇంకా మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు విపరీతంగా తయారవుతారు అనమాట. దే వాంట్ లిసన్ టు యూ. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఐ వుడ్ అడ్వైజ్ ద పేరెంట్స్ ఆల్సో. కొంచెం వీల్ హ్యావ్ టు బీ ఫ్రెండ్లీ విత్ దెమ్, అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ దే వాంట్. కొంచెం వాళ్ళకి గైడెన్స్ ఇచ్చి గివ్ దెమ్ అన్ ఆప్షన్. అండ్ వాళ్ళతోటి కొంచెం టైం స్పెండ్ చేయాలి, బయటికి వెళ్ళాలి, కథలు చెప్పాలి, కుక్ అప్ సమ్ స్టోరీ, సమ్ ఇన్సిడెంట్ అండ్ టెల్ దెమ్ సో దట్ దే రియలైజ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ యువర్ మైండ్ అన్నది. అది అనమాట. సో ఇప్పటి పిల్లలకు ఇట్ ఈస్ నో లాంగర్ Gen Z, ఓకే, ఆల్ఫా అండ్ బీటా కమింగ్ అప్ రెడీ. సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు బీ వెరీ కేర్ఫుల్ ఇన్ డీలింగ్ విత్ దెమ్. అదర్వైజ్ యూ విల్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ లూజ్ ద చైల్డ్. అంతే, దూరం అయిపోతారు మన నుంచి.
Listening to you, it reminds me, since I'm also a mother of two boys, what I really feel is these days when you talk about freedom, pampering. Okay, leave about me, but yeah, there are a lot of mothers and a lot of parents who pamper their kids so much. చాలా ప్యాంపర్ చేస్తారు, మరీ ఎక్కువ ప్యాంపర్ చేసేస్తున్నారు. అంటే భయం ఏంటి అంటే ఇంకా ఏదైనా చెప్తే డిప్రెషన్లో వెళ్ళిపోతున్నారు, స్ట్రెస్లో వెళ్ళిపోతున్నారు. So what do you think and how do you think art can help in such cases where kids are drowning in depression and stress? So art has a role with kids who are into stress and depression. How do you think art can help them come out of it or battle out of it? Or how can parents play a role in making the kids come out of depression, or maybe thinking from a freedom of speech or freedom of expression kind of scenario, you would say? So What is your take on that?
It is not specially that art will only help those children.
Yeah.
Generally also, child who's also happy will want to express. Will want to express beautifully. Okay, let the child enjoy that. And at the same time, you know, all of us, you know, we all have ups and downs in lives, kada.
Yeah.
So whenever they want to ask something, see, I came across a parent who was telling, suddenly when the child will go drawing only ice creams and ice creams. So the mother understands that, you know, the child wants ice cream or something.
Yeah.
The child is asking for the ice cream. So take her or him to the ice cream parlor or get one ice cream and tell them about what it is there and how it can help them and why they shouldn't take it every day, what are the you know, benefits. And you know, of course, see, sometimes, you know, you want to make your mind happy. I would say that, because I don't call it junk food and you know, healthy food. I call it happy food and healthy food. See, healthy food is for the body,
Yeah.
and happy food is for the mind. We are forgetting about the mind, kada. Mind is more powerful than the body. Ekko body ne concentrate chestunnam manam. We are not thinking about the mind. So the whole program of art itself is to, you know, draw attention to the mind, make the mind stronger, so that whatever comes to you in life, you will be able to handle it annadi art toti. And as you said, you know, whether it is happiness or whether it is stress, that's how the artists also did. They wanted to show something to the world. They wanted to put out something that they were feeling, or they wanted to, you know, bring about a change in the society. That is what they did. Like William Hogarth, he wanted to bring about a little change, social change. You talk about, you know, Piet Mondrian, he probably loved the primary colors. So he was doing with mathematical figures and primary colors and call it neoplastism. Ante flat ga coloring anamata. And ikkada enduko technique enduku nerpale manam, when there is neoplastism, when an artist has already created a, you know, a branch of study there, అది ఇక్కడ వచ్చి మనం డెప్త్ హైలైట్ అని వాళ్ళకి ఎందుకు నేర్పాలబ్బా, అది అనమాట. సో గివ్ దెమ్ ద ఫ్రీడమ్. ఇప్పుడు నౌ ఫర్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్, యు నో, ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ celebrated your son's birthday party, very interested in cricket, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, he is young, he loves to have a party, enjoy with children. So slowly wean it out, and probably because he loves cricket, let him also, like, you know, get some kits, cricket kits, and distribute it to children who are, you know, that will make him more happier probably, and tell him to sketch or write the incidents that happened when you took him there.
Yeah.
You know, try to divert that. That is art. It is not that you have to draw something and put it up on the wall. Kane kaadadi. Ante art ante drawing అని అనుకుంటున్నారు, drawing painting అని అనుకుంటున్నారు. It is not that at all. And ఇప్పుడు for instance, మొన్న ఒక painting అంటే ఒక art థీమ్ వచ్చి ఇట్స్ ఆన్ టైం అనమాట. ఇప్పుడు మనం టైం వేస్ట్ చేయవద్దు, టైం ఇస్ ప్రెషియస్ అని అంటే పిల్లలు ఊరికే చెప్పిందే చెప్తుంటే బోర్ అవుతుంది, వాళ్ళు వినరు. సో టేక్ అబౌట్, యూనో, ఐ టెల్ ది ఆర్ట్ టీచర్స్, టేక్ అబౌట్, యూనో, సాల్వడోర్ డాలీ అని ఒక పెయింటర్, ఆయన వచ్చి మెల్టింగ్ క్లాక్స్ అని చేసేది. మనం ఎప్పుడు time, we say time is flying, time is you're running out of time and all that, but he used to do melting clock. Wow. So he used to do the melting clocks, and he did a series of paintings on that. So atla you also, how would you like to, who are your time stealers ani ante valni time is precious and anakunda, who are your time stealers ani ante they will come up with different. So itla, that is a concept that I gave. I just want to tell you this. Yeah. How the child has brought out the stress. That was your question, isn't it? So it was so interesting to see that work. I want to put it up also on the social media. The clock and draw chesesi handles undi kada, I mean the minute handle, dan atlane itla gunjinattu kattesnattu. I don't want to go for tuition.
Wow, okay.
So the child doesn't want to go for the tuition, isn't it? See, Picasso wanted to express about Spanish war, okay? This child wants to express about what he is going through because of tuition. Yeah. Tuition. He doesn't want to go for tuition. So there, the parent can counsel him a little. Arey, Endra, tuition po అని అనేదాని బదులు how to counsel him, how to get him to a track where he needs extra support అన్నది. How would you take him and go? So that is very important.
Now, I think that's a very beautiful perspective to this.
Very important, because I remember my son, my husband didn't want him to go for any coaching classes. But ఎక్కడనో ఒక దగ్గర we wanted him, MSET అంతా రాయాలంటే ఏదో ఉండాలని. So we tried to send him. Not even for 10 days he went there. He didn't want to go.
So he was
when you
fixed.
force something on somebody, the product will not be right. I mean, what you get out of it is not going to be correct.
So he had that clarity maybe from a very young age that I want to be a director. So yeah.
No, he wanted to do acting actually. అందుకని ఇప్పుడు అందరు దుమ్మెత్తి పోస్తున్నారు, యాక్టింగ్ ఏంద్ర డైరెక్టర్ చేయరానంటే, డైరెక్షన్ చేయరానంటే, వాడికి యాక్టింగే చేయాలని ఉండే వాడికి ఫస్ట్. సో హీ గాట్ అ ఛాన్స్, లెట్ హిమ్ డూ ఇట్. నో, ఇట్స్ యువర్ లైఫ్, వై షుడ్ యూ ఇంటర్ఫియర్?
So not only in art, freedom is there even in your blood. So
freedom, of course.
Yeah, of
freedom course. Where you have you set your own boundaries, set your own walls, like so that you don't go wayward. Even if you go, it is life. Okay, even if you go, there should be a point when you realize and come back and be streamline yourself, your character. That is very, very important. Like if you take the example of Rajinikanth,
okay,
how well he was also, he says, I wasted my time, I did so many things, I shouldn't have done that, so I request all of you not to do that. And you see, so there are times when you really we are human after all, we do get into temptations. It's fair, but then don't get drowned in it.
Don't stick to those.
Have a
learn
bag.
from your mistakes and evolve.
Come out of it, evolve.
So we're talking about art, we're talking about creativity, we're talking about freedom of expression, right? So what we do at Agastya Foundation, I'm sure you know, they invoke so much creativity and free flow expression in the kids, in underprivileged kids especially. They make them think differently, they make them come up with different objects. So why do you think creativity and curiosity is very important, especially given today's generation? సో ఈ కాలంలో పిల్లలకి క్రియేటివిటీ అండ్ క్యూరియాసిటీ అంతకన్నా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఎందుకు ఉంది? వాట్ డూ యూ థింక్ ఇస్ ద వే ఫార్వర్డ్?
క్రియేటివిటీ ఉంటే క్యూరియాసిటీ ఉండదు అని, వి గివ్ వే ఫర్ క్రియేటివిటీ, క్యూరియాసిటీ ఉండదు. దాన్ని మూసి పెట్టినామంటే క్యూరియాసిటీ కిల్స్ ద క్యాట్ అని అంటారు చూడు, అట్లనే ఉంటుంది. సో యుల్ వాంట్ టు నో వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్. అది ఓపెన్ ఉంటే ఏమన్నా ఓకే దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఈస్ దేర్ అనేసి వెళ్ళిపోతారు. మూసి పెట్టినాం అనుకో ఏముందో లోపల అన్నది ఉంటుంది కదా. సో దట్ ఈస్
ఓకే. What they do at Agastya, they invoke the curiosity in young kids' mind, and because of that curiosity they come up with their own creative fascination and own creative objects, or maybe things or ideas or different perspectives, as you said. So because of curiosity they are coming up with creative thinking, and when they bring those things to life they are like mesmerized by their own different unique things that they have made. So they say wow, so it is like aha, ha ha. So the joy, that is what they are experiencing through Agastya. So what do you think relation of curiosity and creativity in this perspective would be?
See, curiosity, suppose, can I talk about the program that you are doing in 𝗬𝗏 Foundation?
Yeah.
See, like, when there were ads about sanitary pads,
Yeah.
definitely, when I was watching with my son asked what it is. What is it?
Yeah.
Sit and explain it to the child, so that, he doesn't become curious to know from somewhere else.
Very true.
So you have to support that. వద్దు అవన్నీ వద్దు అని ఆఫ్ చేసేస్తే వాడు ఎక్కడనో పోయి తెలుసుకుంటాడు, ఎక్కడనో పోయి. సో యూ ట్రై టు మేక్ ద చైల్డ్ ఫీల్ కంఫర్టబుల్. ఇట్ మే బీ ఎంబారసింగ్ టు యూ, బట్ దెన్ ఐ థింక్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు టాక్ ఇట్ అవుట్. దే విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్, దే విల్ యాజ్ దే గ్రో దే విల్ నో, అండర్స్టాండ్. సో అది మనం కొంచెం ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయాలి, స్కూల్స్లో కూడా చెప్పాలి. సో దట్ they won't become curious, they'll apply creative thoughts to how to deal with situations.
Yes. Amazing. Beautiful perspective, ma'am. Going in the same journey, talking about periods, that is why we are here as well. You work with a lot of girls, a lot of students for that matter, also a lot of girls as well. have you ever experienced a situation where you have met a girl, a young girl, maybe on first day of period or some period day, and she was not feeling comfortable? Any such experience or situation you would like to share?
Of course, I do remember in schools, you know, when I was in school also, it was all girls school, okay?
Okay.
Akkada kuda, whenever we had our periods, like, you know, we had pinafores, okay? So we would have to, you know, we would lift the skirt and sit like that.
Yeah,
We feel very uncomfortable because those days we didn't have proper, you know, pads or anything, and we used to use cloth. And of course, there were sanitary pads, but when the flow is too much, we feel very conscious about it and like that. And now so many things have come up. There are so many new inventions and new ways where you can handle all those situations. So, and then again, even otherwise, even if you have all that, you have to be prepared for it, isn't it? So I feel that the schools, and when they go for picnics especially, they take the first aid box. They see snacks and everything for the children. They should take this also with them.
Nobody thinks
like that, because I remember a situation when we went to 𝗬𝗶𝗃𝗃 on an educational tour.
Okay.
There, suddenly one child, she never expected, because this, you know, you can't exactly predict the dates.
Yeah, true.
You know, it comes one day before or 2 days before or maybe 2 days after, because it doesn't come exactly on the dates monthly. So she got her periods, and it was profuse. So for some, you know, it depends from person to person. Sometimes for some it's very profuse in the first 2 days, and then again maybe it just shows up in the first day and second day, and then later on it starts. So there are different experiences for each individual, and it depends on their health and their you know, the other aspects of physical aspects of health. So she didn't know what to do, and you know, even her dress was stained.
Okay.
Because we went sitting in the bus, isn't it? So her dress was also stained. So I had to quickly, you know, I tried to help her. There was no proper washroom also over there. So I don't know how suddenly another girl from the same class, she had a extra uniform. I don't know how she had it.
Okay.
I don't know. And
maybe her parents were very cautious.
Later I found out that girl is from the same village, and so I don't know how. I still I'm dazed about how it happened.
Wow.
On the whole, I wanted to just, you know, wash and see that the girl is comfortable. So I ran to the washroom and did everything, but then somebody came with the uniform, put the uniform. It was not fitting her properly, but then she wore it, and then we dried it without, you know, letting others see and all. Naturally, I didn't want to embarrass her. So that is what happened. And there were situations, and not many knew about it. So there are situations when, you know, when a child will not be able to tell somebody. So it's very important that we always, you know, carry a set of pads with the first aid box.
So looking back at your own teenage years, what were the products that you were using, and what is that one thing you wish that somebody would have told you before getting your first period, that, you know, etla avutadi, etla untundi, adi okka wish meekunda somebody would have told you before getting your periods? And of course also the products that you were using and how comfortable or not comfortable they were.
Of course, my mother gave us a lot of inputs, like what to use and how to use and all that. Of course, earlier it was, you know, mostly cloth. We were using cloth, and then the sanitary napkins came in, and my father used to get us every month. So that's what I say. I think the whole family should know about it, and you should talk about it. You shouldn't feel bad about it. It is something natural, isn't it? And somewhere, sometime, everybody will come to know about it. So it's better we discuss it in the family itself. So, and my mother would tell us about the mood changes and all that also when it happens.
Wow. Okay.
and and how to be careful about it, and how to be hygienic and all that. And then again, she would also tell this point, like everybody talks about, how to use your, how to use the sanitary napkins, and how to be cautious about your menstrual period and health and everything. But I feel that the schools and the family should also talk about this, because after your periods, there is a time when, there is a lot of hormonal imbalance in the, hormonal changes that is happening in the body, where you have to be careful with the other sex. That was what my mother also told me once. You have to be very careful about that period, because naturally we'll get attracted to each other, and you have to be careful at that time.
People are not
that was
very
something
vocal.
which I was
You were taught earlier.
Yes.
Wow. And what were the products that you were using, and were they really comfortable, or you were not comfortable? We are talking about sustainability today, right? Plastic pads and tamu, obviously they are full of plastic, loaded with plastic. So from that perspective, if you see, you were using cloth pads. Of course, I assume they were made from old sarees and stuff like that.
No, they were definitely, they were special, like, it wasn't like, made from old sarees or anything. My mother would be very, very careful about, we used to use soft cloth, like soft cloth. And of course, very scared about whether it's going to stay in your dress, or, if the flow is too much. So we would use a lot. And then when the pads came in, we felt it was so skimpy, like, it was very thin. How would it hold and all that? But then there was, we never understood the technology of, how it would...
The holding mechanism.
Mechanism and all that. So naturally, it was a little scary. And then, of course, there was that blue sheet, below, where it will not allow it to overflow or stain your clothes, like. So that we had to remove that and then flush it. But then flushing was also a big problem. And again, you can't wash it and throw it out also. It was quite messy for us. It was better to use the cloth for us first, initially. I felt like that. And then after that, I think we got used to the pads, because traveling and all that, it was easy to carry it and go, and you don't have to try it out anywhere. You can actually wrap it up in a paper and throw. But that also, I had a feeling that, it is part of you. And, just wrapping it in a paper and throwing it off was not a good feeling that I had.
So how did you deal with?
Flushing was much easier, but then again, in all places you will not be able to flush it properly. Maybe in the house you have everything proper, the commode and everything, it goes off. But in certain places you can't do that also, isn't it? So these were the hiccups that I felt should have changed.
So yes, like, today we should not be flushing pads at all. That is why, because of the technology and because of the kind of system we have today, drainage systems are going pathetic. Maybe we are, the population has been grown to a crazy extent. We are coming up with a new technology where we can have flushable pads. So as you were saying, it reminds me of that. You can just flush and forget about it. So we are working on that, and we are bringing those pads back again, because disposal is a big thing. Not only using the pads, disposing off, and the people who are dealing with the waste, they are getting so many infections because of coming in direct contact with the used pads. So contamination is huge, and the pile up dust and the pile up garbage mountains which are there, we don't have to forget about it. And dump is everywhere. And
moreover, you would have seen the dogs dragging it off and taking it.
Cows,
and so many
dogs,
things.
strays,
Oh my God.
Yes.
And even when we were, this reminds me of what my mother said, my grandmother also. When we were using cloth, like, you shouldn't dry it in places where, 𝗂𝗽𝗍 𝗬𝗓.
Oh, okay.
Adi koncham ante maybe you shouldn't put it out where everybody can see. Maybe that was the concept, or maybe there was something scientific also, I don't know.
Myth
Pakshil
and
chudoddu
fact.
and all that.
Okay.
So that is why I had that fear, like when even after washing, డ్రై చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా పక్షులు కూడా చూడొద్దు, అట్లా జాగ్రత్తగా ఇవ్వాలి అనేసి దాన్ని అట్లనే పేపర్లో చుట్టి వేయడం అని అంటే I wasn't feeling comfortable then.
You were in the transitional phase, clear transition from the cloth to the pads, and then now to all the technologies. We have period panties,
yes.
We have menstrual cups, we have tampons and whatnot.
There are
we
so
have today.
many
Yes.
options.
Yes. But yes, sustainable options, whatever you use, they would be healthy for you and for the environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Something that can dissolve easily without
yeah.
you having to pull out that that blue plastic sheet. And
Yeah,
all
we are
that,
not
I
doing
think.
that.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, we are not doing that.
I mean, it's not there at all
Yeah,
now. I think.
yeah.
I think it's
yes.
and all the companies have evolved.
Yes, but yeah, still plastic pad is still there. So we are fighting against that only, and that is why
it is still there.
Yes, they are everywhere. Plastic pads are everywhere. So yes, we are fighting against them. So coming to what you were talking about, awareness and early education from your parents and mother. So we at 𝗧-𝗦𝗔𝗧 Foundation are educating girls, not only rural areas, not only girls, children for that matter, on menstrual hygiene awareness and also about POXO awareness, because you rightly touched upon getting attracted towards the other gender, during this phase, and it happens, it happens truly. So we have to create that awareness amongst young kids, because they fall in the trap sometimes, or they don't know this is wrong, because the kind of media and the kind of things which are available online today, they assume different things, and they kind of fall into the trap of trying something new, or maybe experiencing something new. They feel that it might be good, but they don't know that's not right, that's not age appropriate. So that is what we are doing at 𝗧-𝗦𝗔𝗧 Foundation. We are educating these kids about not only good touch, bad touch, but actually about the POXO awareness, so that they understand what is a confusing touch, what is age appropriate, so that they know.
Time appropriate,
yeah, very importantly. So why do you think all the more in this generation, or in this era, let's say, it is more than important to talk about periods, to understand periods, so that everyone, not only girls or boys, everyone should be a part of this ecosystem? Because this is not a women's issue at all. This is, see, women give birth and we celebrate birth, but periods, we stay silent about it. I don't understand, especially in a lot of parts of India, in West, even in South, we celebrate the first period. It is like a big festival, right? But then after the first period, again the myths are continuing. Okay, don't touch that, don't do this, don't do that. So why do you still think so much stigma is there in the society, and why this awareness is more than important now that we're doing today?
It is definitely more important, because you see there's no gender bias at all. People are just they want to be friends with each other. They're very, I mean, there's so much of freedom around, and the parents are also they have their own avocations, and they're not all the time with the children. That is also one factor. So most of them are close to their friends than with the parents, because parents hardly find time, working parents. Okay, so there's nothing wrong in creating the awareness. I think parents should take the responsibility of telling the children, whether it's a boy or a girl, a male child or a female child, about this, about menstruation, and about how they have to be careful about this period and all that. There's nothing wrong in telling. And another thing is, earlier, there were only women when there was confinement, okay, when the woman had to, was giving birth. Now the husband is there. So we are evolving, isn't it? So let them know, and they all know. Only thing is, we'll have to educate them about how careful they have to be about in that period, during that period.
So it had been an open secret for a very long time. Everybody knew, okay, they will get periods, but what they will go through, through that period was something they don't want to understand also. It's like pain has been kind of taken for granted for women. Okay, periods ante pain untudile, pain untudile, nu bharinchaల్సిందే.
It wasn't taken for granted at all. I think we have changed, because earlier, we never used to, we were not supposed to, like, my mother wouldn't allow us into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Mother, you shouldn't touch this, you shouldn't touch.
Yeah.
And you would have seen many of the families, they'll be sitting out.
Yeah. True.
Okay. That is, you want to give rest to that person. Probably don't do anything. It's not like actually you shouldn't touch or anything, but there is, I don't know, I'm not very sure, there is a lot of science around it also, because the body generates a lot of heat and everything, they say. But whatever it is, when we say don't touch, we won't touch, we listen to them. So that's how it went on. Nobody explained anything about science or anything.
There was no reasoning.
There was no reasoning at all. Exactly. So and people knew, okay, that person is going through this period, so they won't disturb that person. But now you want everything, so you should I think you should take it all.
Yeah, because for players and for people who are working, for every woman for that matter, because everybody is busy these days. So they are fighting their own battles, right? Everybody is fighting their own battle for that matter. So yeah, you can't complain, but yes, if you get some adjustment or some love, some support from your family, from the men in the family.
That is why this education is very, very important. Very
yes.
important. So that, from young itself they know, they understand that period, how they have to, the other person also has to be careful, be it a woman or a man. See, this is the time that, she's going through this phase. Let us be careful with her. Let us not give her too much of work. Let her give her some rest. Let her give her proper food that is, that will give her more strength to the back. My grandmother would make urad dal, alva or laddus and give it to us for that, nadum balam undali anesi. So I think all that pampering also was education to us.
Part of education. Great, amazing. So rightly, ma'am, as you're mentioning about awareness everywhere, not only in schools, colleges, educational institutions, but also organizations, corporates, any workplace where people are working. Like, for example, for instance, Tarun Anna, he called us and he kind of, kept sure that on the set of Inagran 𝗘𝗍 Part 2, he made sure that sanitary pads, organic sanitary pads are available for all the female actors. No matter small, big, anyone, for everyone, pads are available at the set. So such things I'm sure if a lot of people do when they ensure that pads are available for everyone at the workplaces or on the sets or everywhere, I think we are bringing a change. So as an individual, my own brother, he's a stand-up comedian, he carries pads with him in his bag. Always 2 packs, pads will be there in his bag. So I think that is a change which if every man can start doing it, I think that will be really thoughtful and helpful.
Yeah. When you mention about Tarun, stocking his vanity van with the pads, I admired the thought that he had, because one of his ADs told me, I didn't know.
Okay.
She told me that, he's taking account of all the lady artists, and that AD had to take the dates, of their menstrual period, so that we understand what they are going through, and we can actually, because for the whole day they are working over there, and you have to get the best out of them. So and in that, sometimes you're moody at that time. Sometimes you're tired, or sometimes you're not yourself, rather. So he was very particular to take those dates, so that they be aware of it, or maybe they'll reschedule their time or whatever it is. And if at all they cannot do that, maybe how the unit has to adjust with their feelings.
I'm shocked.
So that is why, and that is why probably he also felt that it should be kept in the van for
on the sets.
safety.
And that's really, really thoughtful and really one step ahead. He has already gone one step ahead of ensuring that they are comfortable on their periods, and arranging the dates of the shoot based on that is next level. So I think, yeah,
I was
definitely an
very
inspiration.
surprised. I was really happy about it. You know how
Wow.
I mean, I think each one of us should be considerate like that. It's not just keeping, I mean, it's not just, you know, talking about their dates, changing their dates, but then even, you know, when you unavoidably, you know, if the person, if the artist is going through that phase, how do others adjust with them?
I think amazing. That's really inspiring for so many people out there, and a clear message for all the people who are into this domain. So yeah, you can do your call. Even otherwise, organizations, companies, anyone. You have meetings, you have important schedules. So why not take that into consideration and help your colleagues?
It reflects on your, you know, performances.
Yes, very
It
true.
does reflect.
So before we end, Amma, we would do a quick rapid fire with you.
Okay.
You like rapid fire?
I don't know. I'm scared.
Okay. So let's start.
Yeah.
My first thing is acting or art?
Both.
Both? You have to choose one.
No. Both gave me an edge.
Okay. So you're a morning person or evening person?
Morning.
Morning person. Coffee, tea?
Coffee.
Wow. One book every parent should read?
The child.
Wow. So the child is your subject when you're paying the rent.
You said parent, isn't it? You didn't
Parent,
say
yeah.
a woman or a man.
Yeah.
You said parent, so parents should know the child. Child itself is a book.
So read your child.
Yes.
Read your child, yes. So one thing that makes you smile instantly?
Whenever I see a small child. As I was coming today, there was a school bus going. Okay. So one child was just eating in the bus, like, you know, she was looking at me. I said, hi. Slowly, not at all reluctantly, immediately the child said, bye.
Wow.
So that gives a smile.
Any child you look in,
Definitely.
that is reflected in what you are doing. So, of course, it is just very much evident. So, okay. One thing every woman, or any woman rather, should not be scared about. Maybe by your experiences, you can say, or...
Never be scared about comparisons, probably, because I am a target of comparison. Never take it serious.
You want to touch upon that? I don't mind taking the rapid fire to the next level. When you said you are a target of comparisons.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Continuously, right from my father.
Okay. Comparisons between you and the siblings? Or?
Yes, me and the sibling, my sister. And then, of course, after marriage again, you know, Chennai, Telangana. So many comparisons. Dark, fair, fat, thin. So many comparisons, so many. Language.
I think that's very important because women should not be afraid of comparisons. That is,
Don't
not just
bother
a
about
statement,
it, not fear. I would say don't care a little about comparisons. Otherwise you will land nowhere. You will go nowhere.
I think it's easier said than done, but obviously we women are compared at every angle, at every stage, and everywhere, like at workplace, at home. So yeah, I think that is much more than just a
Everywhere,
word.
even a
Yes.
man. I don't think, I mean, for a human, you know, comparison is the worst thing that can happen.
Yes. My last question is, what is your mantra of life?
Make the best use of the time you have. Life is time.
Thank you so much, Amma, for sharing your beautiful perspectives today. And you are really inspiring through art, through entrepreneurship, or even through your philanthropy that you do for all the kids. We are really heartfully thankful to you for coming here today and sharing your thoughts, not only on art, but also on education, also on menstruation, for empowering our young girls across the country. This program, Women Who Lead, presented by TSAT in collaboration with the Agastya Foundation and 𝗬𝗧 Foundation. We all are really thankful to you for coming here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Agastya Foundation and 𝗬𝗧 Foundation, and also TSAT. Of course, I've been here at TSAT and I understand that they do a lot of programs for the children, especially for the government school children. So in fact, I wanted to do more about the art program that I'm doing also. And of course, I feel bad that I have not reached out to them still. I'll be doing that too. And also, it's so nice that you have taken this program with TSAT, because it will reach to those children. All the, all about sex education and all about hygiene and other aspects of life also. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ma. And to all our viewers who are watching us today, if you are really inspired by this conversation, please share with the women in your life and all the girls to spark a movement and the change.
Excuse me, why only women and girls? I think for the whole family and friends.
Yes.
Even men should know about it, even boys should know about it. That is what we were talking about, isn't it?
That is what we were talking about. Thank you so much, Amma, for bringing that again. So please share with everyone if you're inspired by this conversation. I, your host 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧 𝗚 signing off today. We will come back again with another episode with other inspiring women. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.